Italian citizen who was trying to get to his pregnant wife had to continue his way by crushing the climate activists who were blocking the roads. Was his actions justified? Look at these donuts. Why are they shouting at him?
Oh!
Good man. What? Don't whack his car. If they're not going to let this man through to get to his pregnant wife, they ain't going to let anyone through. And we've covered these donuts a few times. There's been times where there's been an ambulance in, you know, someone's in need, and people have actually lost their lives because these muppets won't let them through. And I think every man can relate to how this guy's feeling. I mean, I can only imagine. And the sad thing is, if you try and move these people out the road and do what you got to do, you're the one who gets arrested. I mean, make it make sense.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Oh, wow. That's an outfit.
Sounds you hear now are the sounds of animals screaming for their lives inside Australia.
I've seen this clip on.
They want to live just like us. Watch the minute on YouTube, see the truth.
Why don't you fuck off?
Yeah. At least they got some entertainment while they eat. This looks like a nice restaurant. I just heard someone shout more steak.
Then why are you paying someone else to do it? They want to live just like us. You need to leave. I will be the police. No. Please. Sir, leave me alone. Sir, do not touch me. You are assaulting me. You need to leave my venue. You are not allowed to live just like us. I have been right to live.
They need some security, this restaurant.
They want to live just like us.
Get out. Get out.
They want to live just like us. I'm here to speak up for animals. They have every right to live just like us. And if you're not vegan, you hate, rape, torture,
Can I talk to you? We've got a right to eat in peace.
You have no right. You have to leave.
Yeah. They want to eat in peace.
Take their life away from them. You need to leave. You want to live just like us.
Get out.
You need to leave.
How embarrassing.
You're out there, drugs, murder, cows, pigs, chickens, fish, kangaroos, emus. Every species, they want to live just like us.
Get out.
Your hands if you're not vegan. Animal abusers.
What an idiot.
I've seen her before.
Going to the next restaurant across the road. This went on a lot longer than it should have. She's in private property. She's been told to leave. She's not leaving, so they can use force to get her out. They can do that, can't they? And bear in mind, this is the same girl that has an OF. So you're telling me I can't eat a cheeseburger, but I can have I can sign up to your OF. How can you advocate for that and then not advocate for eating flipping meat? So that's where we crossed the line, apparently. And how can anyone look at this and the way she's acting and think, do you know what? Do you know what? This makes me want to be a vegan. What a donut.
Don't want Charlie Kirk on our campus. We don't want fascists on our campus. We don't want to support that
Blue hair
here.
strikes back.
Immigration!
I don't know. I'm not like a political...
What?
So could I become a woman if I felt like becoming one like tomorrow?
No.
But you can become one, why can't I?
Because this isn't a case of making a decision to be. Sorry, let me clarify that. This isn't a case of anyone making a decision to be.
Yeah.
There are sort of trans women. I put them in sort of like inverted commas who go, no, I'm just a man in a dress. No, they're not trans women. They are men in dresses living their lives as women. Fine. If they want to do that, that's fine. But they are the tiniest minority.
Well, what if I say I'm not a man in a dress and I wear a dress and put on makeup? When does it come a point to say I am a woman?
I'm getting confused because I swear they just make the rules up as we go along. Because I thought you could just identify as a woman wearing when you please. So this guy's saying trans women aren't just men in dresses. They're different. Trans women are women, but a dude in a dress is a man. Isn't it the same flipping thing?
What's something women don't admit, but absolutely all do?
Probably hate men. Come on, girls.
What?
It's okay. If you could pick who you'd be attracted to, all women would be lesbians.
What a stupid thing to say. And on top of that, you know, I've seen many videos like this. If I said something like this about women, this channel would be taken down, I'm sure. But a lot of women like her can just say what they want. Dude is mad because he pretends to be a woman, but straight dudes still don't want to date him. Why is it so hard to date straight men when you're just a normal trans girl who makes content for the internet? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. You're a dude. You ain't got a hole, you got a pole, mate. That's why.
You're allowed to sleep with other men?
Yeah. A real man would never agree to that. Like an alpha real man would never agree to that.
If I'm being honest, I think that's a friendship or a roommate situation and not a relationship. If I'm being honest, but if it works for you, I respect
If you're
it.
like, oh, he doesn't really care about you, oh, he's gay mentality.
My belief in how we care about each other is not open for debate. He cares about me, like he puts my happiness like way more than my ex-husband did.
You compare it to your ex-husband, but compare it to a normal relationship.
I've been in normal relationships.
work.
Doesn't do it for me. I honestly believe monogamy, how it's been nowadays, is kind of toxic. I've been in monogamous relationships and people acting like the other person is property.
When a man really care about you, the definition of him caring about you is that you are a woman, but even by the Bible, she's the possession of the man. Even the word when a husband call a wife, ba'alech, it means he's the one that own you. If you marry with someone, your man owns you.
That's great for you and your beliefs. I'm not religious.
Because now you're young and you don't understand. I'm not religious so much either.
So you're not religious, but you're speaking about your Bible.
Of course she's got rainbow coloured hair. Of course she does. And we live in the most degenerate times. You know, they don't want the family unit, the loving couple with kids, because that's a strong household right there. They don't want that. They want chaos. That's why they say that it's empowering for women to sleep around when we know it isn't. We all know that. And for girls who believe that, they're going to find out in years to come that they were lied to. I don't know who her man is. He sounds like a bit of a beta simp to me, because any man that loves his woman does not want to see his woman getting touched by other dudes. That's just common knowledge, ain't it?
So I just got back from the grocery store, and this guy came up to me and he called me a fucking freak. And this person behind him, they took off their shoe and just started hitting him. And I was shocked and I immediately left. Point is that my shoe's now broken.
I thought they were never violent and they're loving and they love everyone.
But crucially, we are not just two separate groups. Trans refugees flee violence at home only to face it here too. Trans people of colour face much harsher discrimination, as do asylum seekers of colour. If each oppressed group remains divided, fighting only for their own rights, we will be crushed. It is only through solidarity, through fighting for all of our freedoms together, that we stand a chance of winning our liberation. That's why trans people in Manchester are clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear.
You're a frickin' donut.
Say it loud, say it clear.
You're a flipping donut.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here. I bet there's refugees who would see this and they'd be going, we got another way to crack the code. Do these people not think? You know, there's good immigration when it's done properly, but illegal immigration just shouldn't happen because there's consequences of that. There is. That's like saying if you let all the criminals out of prison, there's some who are going to you know, live a good life, and there's some who are going to commit crimes again. You can't risk any of it, so it shouldn't happen. Can you imagine the families of the kids and people that have lost their lives to criminals who we have no idea who they are, and then they see their own people supporting it? You can only imagine how they're feeling. These people are lost.
What's crazy to me is that you are the only female late night talk show host.
Wow.
Here we go.
Earlier, I'm like, this is the dumbest glass ceiling of all time, but like, I'm happy to be there. But also, guys, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I just feel like the moment we've moved past it. We got to get some ladies more ladies in late night.
Well, Busy, first of all, good luck with your new show. I'm not sure how it's doing since there's no reported metrics, probably because the audience is too small to register on industry radar. But it's not a glass ceiling. It's a viewership floor. Nobody's blocking women from hosting late night. Just like nobody is stopping WNBA.
Yep.
The talent is there, but the ratings have left the chat. So if women-led shows pulled good numbers, they would be everywhere. But it doesn't, which is why your last show was canceled after 6 months due to low ratings.
Damn. This guy does like green screens. He like puts himself on these talk shows, but it's hilarious. I've seen a few of these and they're funny every time. And he's talking facts as well. It's the same with female comedians. I'm all for it. You know, everyone wants to see people do well in life, but they're not popping off because most of them are shit.
Would you date a transgender person?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. If they're the right person, that would absolutely be a thing.
So have you?
I have not dated a transgender person, no.
I have not, no.
No, I haven't, but I have friends who are transgender.
These people have become so brainwashed and politically correct to everything they do. They don't even say the truth anymore. They don't even say what's on their mind. Because all of them lied there. All of them did.
What is a woman?
What is a woman?
Magic
a woman's
question.
a girl with tits and a vagina, but also there are men who want to be that, and they get that.
But are they actually a woman?
They're a woman. They're a woman in their heart and soul.
Okay.
And that's important.
That sounds a bit contradicting.
No, because heart and soul, they believe they should have been a woman.
You started with tits and vagina.
Right, and they get that.
Well, they don't have a vagina if
Some
they're
of
a
them
biological
transition
man.
to get that.
Biological vagina?
Well, the best they can.
Okay, so they're not a real woman.
They're a real woman as long as they believe they are, and in their heart they are, and they feel that they are. Your spirit is what your spirit is.
So can I be a sloth?
So she said that gender is affirmed by what genitalia they have. But then they say that doesn't affirm it, and then they get them removed to affirm it. Something's not adding up.
What are your pronouns? He, they. He, they. And they means they. So could you give me like a little bit of a description of because I don't understand what that means.
So there's he, she, and there's they. I'm they.
And so you're them?
Yep.
And so are you multiple people?
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
Could you explain that to me?
No. Too much work. But I am a legion. I am legion. I am many. I am the one who is many. All right, y'all. Happy Friday.
He's the...
And we're supposed to listen to that and acknowledge it and then bring that delusion into our lives and take them serious when they don't even know what they're talking about. It's not very convincing.
We just demand equal opportunity, but not the same responsibility. Right! Men are literally trash, but women are also equal to men. Yes, exactly! Women are all victims of the patriarchy, so we should give women all the power. I've been saying this! Women are so oppressed. Women are so powerful. Exactly! Sex is powerful and important. Sex is casual and women relate to it in the same way that men do. It's so obvious! Feminism is about equality, except when men actually want equality, right?
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Hey, so I just got stood up for a date. See, I actually put effort into the look today, so I have a weird request. Just get some compliments. Just some compliments. Cause I feel hot. Why won't anyone date me?
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe this guy forgot, but he's a fella dressed as a woman, so it's a pretty big red flag, that one.
If you have a cure to diabetes, wouldn't you want to sell that cure in the marketplace?
I would want to distribute it to everyone for free.
There's nothing that's free. It's paid for by somebody at some point.
How about Jeff Bezos, who has like $50 billion or something? He can afford to pay for that, right?
How did Jeff
he's
Bezos
got
get his money?
By exploiting his laborers and not paying them enough.
If he's exploiting them, why do they work for him?
Because they don't have another
But
opportunity
there's
to get
more
a job.
job openings available in America than actually people we have to fill the jobs. There's 7 million job openings. You use Starbucks.
Okay.
So Starbucks, that's a billionaire. Why are you buying Starbucks? You're participating in the market economy.
Well, it's impossible to buy things without participating in the market economy.
It's very easy to critique billionaires while you swish your Starbucks latte back and forth.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
Unpack is why you believe the transsexual's experience is not one that deserves to be validated.
Yeah, and I'm similar trying to unpack why you don't believe Rachel Dollaz's lived experience is one that should
No,
be
I do. I understand, and that's the conflation where you're trying to unpack one topic by putting up
exactly
another.
The same.
But we can't ask why a rhinoceros isn't an elephant. We're talking about an elephant, and the elephant in the room is that you have a skewed perception, in my opinion, about a transsexual's experience, and I'm simply asking, why do you feel like it doesn't deserve to be validated if that's how the person feels? Because you know what you guys do, and I'm going to say you guys that have these strong opinions.
But I just have one person sitting here.
No, these strong opinions. No, it's people that you represent because you have very strong opinions. And what happens when it comes to the LGBT?
So when he says you guys, he pretty much means us who, you know, stick to biology and reality, not the dream world.
LGBT community is you'll conflate pedophilia by using children and gay, which are two different things.
I'm not conflating here. Your argument is that if someone who is not clearly being born with a penis, for example, decides that in their lived experience, actually, no, they should have had a vagina, and so they're going to start living like they have a vagina and getting cosmetic procedures like they have a vagina, that suddenly I should respect that. I'm saying, okay, keep it consistent and say the exact same thing about Rachel Dolezal, and you hesitate there. For some reason, you don't want to do that. And so,
no, I said she was crazy.
Exactly. So you have to keep it ideologically consistent. That's all I'm saying. But I'm saying to you, I'm consistent. Rachel is not a black woman, and a trans person can't just wake up one day and decide to be a woman. A man can't wake up one day and decide to be a woman because of lived experience. I'm sorry that I'm consistent.
Every time I see a Candace Owens clip, she always comes out with the W. But she's saying what a lot of us are saying. I mean, it's not like she's not like a rocket scientist with what she's saying. She's saying common, basic biology, which we all know when we're kids. And there's donuts like this guy that still believe, you know, like me, I could wake up tomorrow and identify as a black woman. He believes that.
What are your pronouns?
They, them, but also it's because nothing is real.
What are your pronouns?
I'm afraid.
What are your pronouns?
They, them.
Why?
Because I'm non-binary.
What are your pronouns?
Any.
Why?
Just whatever people feel comfortable with, you know?
What are your pronouns?
He, they.
Why?
Just feels right.
What are your pronouns?
He, him.
Why?
I just feel more inclined to
Is he asking the same person the same questions? I don't see any difference.
be masculine. I don't know.
Well, how long have you been he, him?
I've probably gone by those pronouns for about 18 months, but throughout my entire life, I've not really been comfortable with the female gender.
What are your pronouns?
She, her. She, her.
What are your pronouns?
Nor/Mal.
Fair enough. What are your pronouns?
She, her.
Nice. What are your pronouns?
She, her. She, her.
Why?
Because I identify that way. Same. That's how I identify.
What are your pronouns?
She, her.
Why?
Because I want them to be she, her.
He, him.
Why?
Low-key, I thought about going they, them because I'm not a fan of patriarchy, but it didn't really work out, so he, him.
Okay. What are your pronouns?
I go for and that's the easiest ones.
What are your pronouns?
Beautiful, gorgeous.
Why?
Because I like, and you need to respect
Thank you, beautiful. What are your pronouns?
You're not for real, are you? I'm a female. Yeah, a she.
Female. She, her?
Yeah, but I don't bother with all that on emails. Wrong generation, you see.
I have a challenge for these people. Just look and sound normal. Just look and sound normal, and I am yet to see that.
If you think that the same straight men who are too afraid to wear chapstick for fear it'll make them look too feminine are gonna dress up in full drag, grow out their hair, do a full face of makeup, get gender reconstructive surgery, train their voices higher, put on Spanx, tuck their dicks, just to rip you in a public bathroom, you're crazy. The man that's gonna rip you is not gonna be a drag queen, okay? It's gonna be a man with chapped lips and crop mini bangs and awful, awful, awful skin and BO that would make the devil himself weep. Because these men do not care if you find them attractive. They don't care if you feel safe with them. These men are crazy and sick. And they've been around forever, and they're not gonna change. And you're insane for thinking that trans women are the monsters here. It's them.
I think this guy has a few more things he needs to sort out in his life before he resorts to giving other people advice and trying to point them in different directions with his opinion. Yeah.
Stop it. Get some help.